Good evening, this is Nadir again coming with you to give you my description of the Keep Meal Lead position and what I think its responsibilities should entail in an ideal situation. I apologize for my mostly reading this off to you. I'm trying to keep all these videos, at least the primary ones, coming out pretty quick, and that doesn't leave me time to memorize them all. Keep Meal Lead. Primary responsibility of a meal lead is to ensure the meals they are in charge of is delivered on time, on budget, made under sanitary conditions, and that there is plenty of it. Secondary concerns should take into account dietary restrictions, work to reduce expenses and waste, and increase portability to deliver across the site location. They will work in advance with the feastocrat and the backup meal lead to design the feast menu items, portion sizes, and costs. This should be completed at least 3 months in advance of the event. Why 3 months? Well, the meal lead needs time to cook every item on their menu, enough times that they have a mastery of each. Then, they need to find 1 or 2 junior cooks with some experience per menu item. The meal lead will train these helpers on their specific items. These junior cooks could be considered a section lead. Depending upon cooking times, they might be preparing the food directly on site or leading the team that will be doing so. Or they may end up preparing the food in advance and then organizing transportation to the site. Now, I'm sure many of you are asking, are that many people really needed for one meal? Yes, absolutely, and more if possible. At one key breakfast, we had biscuits and gravy. Simple meal. To warm the biscuits, we had to butter the grill, put the biscuits on the grill, take the biscuits off the grill. A set of simple tasks. To do this with 1,000 biscuits took 7 people approximately 40 minutes. 280 minutes of total labor, or about 4.5 hours if one person was doing it. When making a simple set of sandwiches for lunch, we had 10 people working close to 2 hours, or 20 hours for one person. This sheer volume of food served at Keep makes simple things take much longer. I cannot emphasize this enough. It's going to take you longer than you expect to prepare this quantity of food. In addition, there's always another meal after you waiting to get set up and cooking. In 2017, the kitchen area nearly always had 2 meal leads preparing 2 different meals at the same time. Your equipment and space are at a premium. There's 500 to 1,000 people waiting in line for this meal alone. If you're late on your meal, the next team will be late on theirs. Train the extra people. Bring the extra people. By the way, that's Nigel. He likes cameras. Once you have all your section leads trained, you will want to devise a way to hot hold your food. This way, if you're over-prepared and get everything done early, your food will stay hot, safe, and tasty. If you're worried about keeping your food hot, you could always consider making a cold meal. Of course, then you need to make preparations to ensure the food stays cold. If you have plans to hot hold your food, you can get everything cooked an hour or 2 in advance. Then, when it comes to service, you have nothing else to worry about. In fact, if you plan to be done 2 hours early and have problems that delay you by an hour, you still have plenty of time. You also have to design how you're going to serve the food. Wrapping in aluminum foil is a sanitary option and it keeps in heat. It is a bit more expensive, but it's a good option, especially for lunches or portable meals. Do you need bowls? Forks? Plan ahead. Let the feastocrat know so they can get the equipment you need. Finally, every meal could use a catering captain. This is someone who will keep an eye on the serving line and flow of traffic. They'll devise a setup that allows for quick flow of the line and efficient grabbing of food. For most meals, this is relatively simple, but remember that you've got 1,000 people that need to get through that line. You need more than just one table with a bunch of stuff set out. So what are the responsibilities of the meal lead on the day of? Well, first, stop by the day before your meal and make sure all the equipment that you needed is there. Make sure all the ingredients are accounted for and stored in a sanitary manner. Get all the propane flowing for each of the cooking surfaces, and then make sure your section leads and catering captain have all the help they need. Finally, find a few good people to get your dishes squared away efficiently. So you notice, in response to the question of what are the responsibilities of the meal lead the day of, I gave them a bunch of tasks for the day before, or before the start of the meal. In an ideal situation, the meal lead isn't doing any work during the meal prep and service. They are there to answer questions for section leads and resolve issues that come up. If you're busy stirring a pot, you can't fix a problem. If there are no problems, well, then pat yourself on the back for planning ahead properly and sit down and watch the effort pay off. Thanks again for watching. I hope you've learned something. If you've got any comments you want to add or questions about meal leads, add them in the comments below. And at the end, there should be a link to Julian Greystoke's channel, who's the editor for this and most of my videos. Have yourself a great day.